NXT, like some of these people are gymnastics, like they're flexible, or they are very, very strong. Because Mark Henry, you might have heard of his name. He was at a Stronghold event where he picked up a few wrestlers, right, and powerlifters, right then and there. And like WWE, it had hopes to bring in straight gold medalists, bro. Either they did wrestling, powerlifting, or just any kind of sports, because they were literally aiming for NFL people. Like there's already NFL wrestlers who did like a couple of years. So you got Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, you got a few other people who did wrestling, bro, and they all did this. So it just will be giving you the background of how things are in the WWE. Like people not worried about that. People like me is worried about like what's going on, what's the story, what's the credibility behind that character. Like these are characters. And so fast forward of what happened Monday. They had a Monday Night Raw Stranger Things collab. Like they had the whole like layout was so dope, guys. It was so dope. Um, then they had like certain matches that was supposed to be like they had like the Demogorgon walk past in the back of one match. And they have this tag team match that Rhea Ripley, Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. That was a good match. And like the storyline, like I'm telling you, the storyline is like everything to me. That's the only thing that I really care about because some storylines are short lived. Some of them are like actually drawn out. Like they take their time to do them, and that is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Cause like there's certain things where you say, okay, this is boring and this is fake. Like, yes, fake. Even John Cena says at the interview, cause John Cena retired last year on the 13th, December 13th. He retired. It's like with them just talking about how things are in the WWE. It's like yeah, it's fake, but the storyline is real. Like there's actually beef in the WWE if you honestly want to think about it. Like these people work with each other, but they don't like each other sometimes. So it's like the first match, Rhea Ripley is the Kabuki Warriors, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky they won. So they're new champions. With the whole theme of the Stranger Things, people thought that somebody was going to show up at the end of the match, but it never happened. Like this Monday Night Raw wasn't the best. For the be the 1 year anniversary, they should just hold off on the Stranger Things till this Monday is coming up. They should have left this one regular, but amp this one up because they did not do that at all. The fact that it was kind of boring, like I'm just sitting there eating, taking notes, just watching. Like I was actually bored. I was honestly bored because that match didn't do nothing for me. Because like yeah, this is the first Monday Night Raw of the year, so this has to set the tone. And the booking was terrible for this match, and like they didn't hype this one up. They had one hype up. I think it was last week. I'm not sure on when it was, but they had the smallest hype up, and it was boring. So the next match So they won. Okay, the next segment, like they do, like it's not like scenes, but because of this being a Stranger Things, they had like if you ever watch Stranger Things, like before the episode, it shows like the title in the chapter. And this is what they did. So they had chapter two. They had the dude who beat John Cena, who tapped him out. Gunther, he had this T-shirt like you tap out, like and then he didn't say the words on it, but because this is Netflix, kind of Netflix actually allows, and like when you look, this is a perfect example. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. This is like one of them ties things. Like Netflix is like this, loose, right? On any other programs like SmackDown or NXT where they on national TV, they was like their their like dialogue is like that tight. So you can't really say cuss words. You can't do none of that. So like Gunther said, like he tapped like a little bitch, and that was like crazy how that actually came out. But like, so this is the year of retirement tours. So AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho. It's like if you was a fan like back then, but you're not a fan now, this is the time where you. So of the wrestling classes, so the old VW class was Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Ray Orton, Batista. So the last two right now in that class that's in the WWE, which is like the oldest, is Brock Lesnar and Ray Jordan. But Ray said he's not going to retire till he gets, I think, 50. But John Cena retired before 50. That means like Gunther has to tighten up his schedule and make this stuff like last because like he has to go against like AJ Styles, and this is next week. So AJ Styles versus Gunther is next week. But AJ Styles already said like he's going to be going to TNA. TNA is another brand which we will talk about at a later time. This is like WWE has a partnership with them. This is another wrestling promotion that people thought that would fall off on the planet of Earth, but it never did because now WWE is trying to like buy companies now. So this is like one of those big things. So within that segment of Gunther and AJ Styles slapped him, and that was kind of crazy because Gunther is that dude. If he hits you, you getting knocked down on your ass. Like that's how it is. And that was like, oh right. And like how that actually went down was kind of crazy. And so it's like, and after that segment's done. AJ Styles walked away after he slapped him. Like after he slapped him, he walked away. So and then they confirmed that match. And then like the next one is Maxie Dupree versus Becky Lynch. If you guys don't know about Becky Lynch, she was in a few movies with Marvel. She is in the new season of Star Trek. Um, they had a match for the intercontinental title. That match was so sloppy, bro. I was on my about other Twitter. I was just tweeting out that one was too sloppy. It didn't make no sense. Why like so many botches, so many mistakes. It didn't make no sense. Like I'm like they could did way better for this to be once again the first Raw of the year. And and mind you, WWE is already under fire already because WWE and ESPN, they have a deal for all of their PLEs to go to ESPN because they took WWE took all their stuff off of Peacock. Like when you go on Peacock like streaming service, you don't see the WWE symbol on the side or on the top. You don't see WWE on the top because they're not there anymore. Um, yeah. So this booking of that match was terrible. But Becky Lynch won. I don't know what that actually means moving forward. Moving forward, I know that this is going to create for somebody to return and somebody to debut because they were saying in that oh you got like this side is going to be like you got one person that's protecting you, but now I need backup, and they are going to call up. And like this is the whole thing about the WWE right now. They're losing people. Like WWE is letting go people. NXT is calling up people. Call ups are like NXT is the quote unquote WWE is like not test dummy, but a developable just to see how their technique is, basically. Like, how do they handle things, certain things? So they start bringing out, like, trying out new things and stuff like that in NXT before they call them up. Because you don't want to call them up right away if they don't know how to handle such certain situations. NXT is where they can practice on their moves, try out their moves, practice on their mic skills. Because their mic skills might be bad. So NXT, they got trainers, teachers, they got classes and stuff like that. So like people getting called up, people getting let go. So it's just like they're bringing on certain people that are going to change the roster forever. Because they said, okay, with Raw being on Netflix, the time difference, NXT being on CW network, so that's channel 9 for me. I'm not sure about you guys. Um and Friday Night SmackDown is on Fridays, but it's on USA. They're trying to get that to get moved pretty soon. Then you got another promotion, but it's never live. You got WWE involved. And I would talk about that pretty soon because there's something cool that happened yesterday that was kind of crazy how they did it. But and then it's so much. It's like the storylines are so good. And like one of the main storylines that is about to cook up back up again, but it's gonna be a little bit different, is the whole thing with the Rock's family. like Roman Reigns, like you probably know about him because he did a few Nickelodeon stuff. He did a few. He was in Fast and Furious. He's also one of the characters that's in the Street Fighter movie, by the way, that's coming out next year or 2 years from now. No, next year. With him playing the dude with the ponytail, he's playing. His name started with a B in Street Fighter. I forgot his name, and he had a ponytail. I think he was green, or yeah. But it's like he's about to do another storyline with him being on SmackDown though. But his cousins, the Uso twins, they are on Raw. It's like they have their own storyline and stuff like that. They are going to reconnect with him, and this is going to be something crazy because there's a rumor because the Rock's family is all in the WWE, but one, and this one is a lone wolf, and once again, with me was I will talk about this later because he tweeted out something which is going to have him show up on the WWE stage on NXT just to wrestle somebody. Then he might get called up instantly because somebody keeps talking on his name. But the Usos friends, they did their segment. They talk about all these challengers. Certain people are gonna get called up for this situation, and that's gonna be like something that's gonna be very, very cool. And what Jay Uso always says, like 4 letters, one word. And then they said like it was like Uso instead of Ye. And that set me in very terribly because they was on the same track. They was not on the same track at all. Of saying that him and his twin brother, wasn't on the same track. And then the next segment was Stephanie Van Care. She had a boot on because she injured her foot last week in a triple threat match between Nikki Bella, which Nikki Bella is dating a college football player, by not college football player, my bad. Somebody from the Eagles. Um, and Recal, and she injured her foot. She came out. She basically said, "I'm when I'm when I get better, I'm coming after everybody and stuff like that." Recal almost broke her ankle, like fully, and she was gonna get fined for like what she was about to get ready to do. That was a terrible segment. Then what was so foul, and you can see this all over TikTok. All these like people who are like fans of this next person, Javon Evans, got called up to Monday Night Raw, but it was during a commercial break. Everybody that I seen content from, oh my god, they was about to get ready to punch a wall. Cause they did it over a commercial break. Don't don't you realize that if you did it live without the commercial break, people would know about him. Like they already know about him. You do it this way, and people would actually go crazy for him because he's look at this. It's crazy. He's only 21 years old. He's the youngest that's on the WWE roster right now. Main roster. He is the youngest wrestler 21. Everybody is in their mid 20s. Some of the people that were in NXT and stuff like that, they are in their mid 20s, like 25 and up, 25 plus. And that's what's crazy to me because I think Ray Orton, I think he's the it's between Ray Orton and a few other people that are like the oldest, like active superstars that can still wrestle. And it's crazy how that works. And then last week during the last match, it was Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. The Vision, that's the group that Logan Paul is part of. His people came out to interfere in the match, but there was somebody like this is what I was hoping, because they put this in our head and they never did because they said he was injured. So I'm going to take you on a side quest, right? WWE is the highest brand of them all. They like here. So you got TNA, AEW, New Japan. Those are the ones that are have like TV deals, but I'm not sure about New Japan. Everybody else got a deal, right? You got indie wrestlers. Uh, there was a group, a tag team, but no, they one came out one time and one was injured. And then he got transferred to. Then WWE had to pick him up. There was this dude named Penta. Penta is a luchador wrestler, so they came from. They're not U.S. based. Not New Mexico. They are from Mexico. Him and his brother came onto the WWE. They quote unquote promised us that they was going to team up and go after the tag team. Because look at this, all this is for one reason. Rey Mysterio is an ambassador, but he's an active superstar. So he recommended them two to come to WWE, but they got both separated. One's on SmackDown, one's on Raw. So it's like it was called the Lucha Bros and AEW. They was untouchable on that brand. Like literally untouchable. But now they kind of separated, so we got to rethink things. But they had a segment on Monday between Rey Mysterio and Penta, like, we like this. We gonna be like going after a lot of stuff. But there was like another wrestler named Dragon Lee who teamed up with AJ Styles for the tag team match. They lost their stuff. It was like a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. And then I guess those three are going to be going against the Vision, which I really hate, because you gonna tell us that on AAA, which WWE bought, like WWE has a Mexican promotion that they bought last year, and they was going to put the Lucha Bros or whatever they gonna rename them, because they can't use that name because it's copyrighted. They were gonna have these two brothers versus the other two wrestlers, but once Penta got injured, that match canceled out. But now you have the chance of doing it now with it being the beginning of the year. Now you can have this match with Penta Rey Mysterio in that beef, either bring Ray Phoenix to Raw or trade Penta to SmackDown. I promise you, if you're not a fan of WWE or a fan of wrestling, just like you don't even have to be a fan of WWE, just be a fan of the story, like I am. I don't care about the show. I care about the storyline. Like I'm a huge fan of what they do, like in terms of storyline, but lately it's been sucking. But besides that, they've been doing the most when it came to that. And so the next the next match they had um, Liv Morgan versus Vicarl. That match was born because it was Liv's first match back because she had like a her shoulder was broke. And like there was like look at this. When you look at the WWE, it's like, oh, it's not there, it's safe. Like the and I'm about to tell you something. The only safe wrestler that was out there, and he's still known as the safe wrestler, is The Undertaker. He will make sure that you get the moves right without you getting hurt or him himself getting hurt. He's the only safest wrestler to talk to. But when you look at the roster right now, everybody's injured, bro. Everybody's injured. Every freaking body's injured, bro. And it's trigger. So, and then that match ends. You have Liv that won that match, the returning match. Then you have the main event, Braun Breaker versus CM Punk. Decent match. Decent. Um, they went back and forth and stuff like that, but Braun Breaker couldn't get it locked in. He couldn't lock in. I'm not sure why, but CM Punk won that match. It was like terrible. And then they put out a few like announcements at the end of the show where Netflix is now the new U.S. home of WWE's library, like PLEs, so you can watch every PLE that WWE has. And what year they have every year that they did that PLE. Dude, I started watching some old PLEs when like some old stuff last night. Like I couldn't sleep, so I just started watching like a ton of stuff. It's a lot of good stuff too. Like it was like some good stuff in that I would never thought that would actually happen. So yesterday, guys, yesterday. So this is like NXT New Year's Eve. Yesterday, this is where they had so many good matches, guys. They had so many good matches. So mind you, they have call-ups that are going on. So their roster is getting slim, but it's growing at the same time. So it's doing this. So they have Trick Williams, they have like Jordan Grace, Javon Evans. I went to like everything is getting weird in a way. Everybody's getting drafted, not like drafted, but getting like called up to the main roster. Main roster is Raw and SmackDown. And they have certain people that they've been rumoring that's gonna make these moves, but they never did them. Like the first match was so another sidetrack. How this is how NXT is. NXT is a starting point, but not a starting point. Who's ever a free agent in the pro wrestling world, or if their contract is up, they either can go to WWE or they can go somewhere else. Half the wrestlers that WWE has came from another promotion. Some came from a partnership contract and made them a full contract. So, like half the people that you see on NXT wrestle somewhere else. So, like that was the most coolest part about the whole thing. And like this first match didn't go as well. It's like something burning. And it's like, bro, it's like this first match could went so much better for Blake because they said like there's so many rumors that are going around where there's a lot of people that was part of the gold, wait, the gold and white, the gold and black. I forgot which one it is. That should have been called up way long time ago. So with certain people that came from AEW, they should just get called up because they're not young, they're old. Not old, but old. So they could have been called up way sooner. So like they have a wrestling name of you got Ricky, you got Blake, you got all these other people that should have been called up today. They didn't, which is kind of weird because that match went out and guess who came out? Ricky Saints. With him, like talk about the match, the main event that happened tonight. It was a squash match, but it was a really good type of squash match because you got like one person that was bigger than the other person and stuff like that. But you had Ricky Saints that was just like calling out and saying that he didn't need NXT. NXT needed him because like he's a new superstar now for NXT to be the main person, the face of the NXT. Because what I would say later, it's gonna be crazy. And then fast forward, they had to change the rotation of the match because the first one didn't happen. So Ava, aka The Rock's daughter, Dwayne Dwayne Johnson's daughter, who also is the GM for NXT, she had to change matches, stuff like that. She had to ban Moreau from being from the building in NXT. People saying that this is her call up. My thing is, I have a fantasy booking, and I will be doing some of those, like fantasy bookings on all my day offs. We're gonna be like trying to construct a story of my liking with me just talking, and this is like off script stuff like that. I was trying to create a story in my head and talk about it off script and just like tell you guys about it. But Moreau's getting called up, And I will be shocked to see her on a brand where it has more people on it. That's just content for her and making storylines for her. So next segment from that was Tatum versus Izzy. This was just a regular match. This was just to settle whatever beef they had and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, then what was the point of this match, right? This was just a regular, basic match that didn't really make any sense. By the end of the day, this was just to end something off. Uh, and in the conclusion of this match was Tatum, and people thought this was going to be a call up type of match because apparently certain matches are like call up matches. If one person lose or win, they get called up. But this wasn't that because I would love to see something that goes wrong with this certain tag team, this female tag team match with Alexa and Charlotte to go bad and Tatum steps in. Because Alexa has a doll. Tatum has Barbie dolls. And that will be a perfect tag team just logically. So just to move on, uh, they're showing these vignettes of these new wrestlers that are coming to NXT. Then next segment, they talk about Thea's injury. She had not broken ribs, but hurt ribs. So what they do in the WWE, if you get hurt, like shoulder, arm, ribs, legs, they put this tape. They put this like tape on your skin so they like you be safe. And so they had some on her, and they told her not to wrestle. But Jordan Grace was there, even though she got called up. She really said if she wants this, let her have it because of the injury, which was crazy. And then they had a NXT women's women's championship, right? Versus like somebody from Evolve, which she is not going to be involved anymore. She's going to lose her title, the WWE Involved Women's Champion, for her to get called up to the NXT because this match, it was a good match. It was just didn't go as well as she planned. But she lost the original like champion retained. It was actually a good match. That was a good match. But once again, I would thought that okay, because it's happened, possibly somebody from Evolve cuts in to screw her over, but that didn't happen. Then the next match was Thea Hale versus Izzy, which Izzy already wrestled a match early against Tatum. Tatum won that match. So uh, Thea did a open challenge match. Open challenge means any wrestler can come in to wrestle for this belt. Even though Thea was already hurt, she lost the title to Izzy. So this is big because of the whole thing that Thea shouldn't even won that title in the first place. And right to tell you how bad WWE writing is at some point. And then just to fast forward, there was a couple of segments that was kind of boring. I'm not going to talk about those. So Ethan Page is the North American Championship. and the mixed tag, like AAA mixed tag, right? He came out and talked about a few things like he should be level up, he should be called up, or he should not be called up, stuff like that. And then these other wrestlers came in wanting his title and wanting his chance to like go against him, fight against him, win his title and stuff like that. And like, everybody came out because that title is a mid card. Mid card is a you're not at the level of top of the company yet. You're not there yet, but you're there right here. When you look at the WWE titles and stuff like that, so NXT they have a world champion, North American champion, tag team. That's the male. Then you have the women's NXT and the women's North American champion. So those are mid cards. Then they don't have a women's tag team because a women's tag team is on the main roster. So that main roster title goes towards Raw, SmackDown, NXT. If they really wanted to, they can go to Evolve as well. So it can circle around 4 different brands if they really wanted to. So this was when everybody came out, everybody wanted their chance, everybody was talking, they was yapping, doing the most. I didn't like that segment at all because it didn't make no sense. But the cool thing was with that segment, okay, they had somebody who did a there is a program that's going on. They show it on not Spike TV. Spike TV is not a thing anymore. Um, on I forgot what network it was on, but they do a coaching where they teach these people how to wrestle, how they talk on the mic, how they do certain things. And the coaches are Undertaker, Mickey James. Uh, they have special guests like Shawn Michaels and stuff like that. So this is their brand and stuff like that. And so they teaches these people. They teach these college athletes to be wrestlers because they have to reprogram their mind just to do this stuff. So the next match, the last match right here. So this match was very, very important. This was very, very serious. The first, because this is a brand versus brand type of match. They have Leon Slater from TNA Wrestling. He's also another youngest wrestler. He's also 21. He's 21 years old. He was going against Obafemi. Obafemi is from NXT. So this would be the final match. Obafemi versus Leon. It was a good match, even though Leon is a high flyer and Oba is a powerhouse. Like he was bigger than Leon. So this was supposed to be for the world championship. It was a good match. No mistakes. Leon laid it out all. He did not make a mistake at all. And my thing was like, okay, there was already rumors. If you watch Raw or SmackDown, they've been showing vignettes of Oba being a free agent. What if he shows up on Raw? What if he shows up on SmackDown? Doesn't matter. So I thought that Oba was going to drop this title, but the reason why he didn't, because there's already a wrestler who won their last match. It didn't lose the title. They just dropped the title. And it's like how that actually went down. Oh my god, that was crazy. Because Oba won, he did his thing, and stuff like that, and then it went towards the locker room with Ava talking to Evolve wrestlers, WWE Evolve wrestlers, and WWE LM, wait, the other promotion that's probably connected to Evolve as well. Ava was talking to them. It's like, yeah, we're getting all these wrestlers getting called up, so we need some of you guys to step up, and possibly we can call some of you guys up so you guys can wrestle and be on TV because Evolve is on Tubi and it's not live. It's just straight episodes. It's like today, they um, there's a new episode that comes on at 7 on Tubi. So, and Ava's assistant Rob bust through the doorway and said, did you see what Oba did?" And she was like, "No, what? No." And then the camera faded back to the ring with the title laying on a mat. Mind you, if you ever watch wrestling, if you ever watch John Cena's last match, or watch The Undertaker's last match, or watch Shawn Michaels' last match, or Kurt Angle's, I think Kurt Angle's did last match. Who else? Ric Flair's. You know, Ric Flair really said that he kind of want to do another match. I think Dave Batista, Kane, like they leave, like with John Cena, he took off his armband and his shoes. He left it out. Look, okay, I'm gonna do it like. You see when my pick is like Tim. This is like their items that they wrestle with, stuff like that. Left it there. The fact that I've been watching TikTok for all this morning before I actually like after I woke up with me reading my book. I also read a couple books in the morning. I looked at TikTok and saw like reviews of this. Like people like freaking out, like what just happened. But I had to think back. There's a wrestler that's on Monday Night Raw named of Oscar. She was undefeated on NXT. Never lost a match. Never lost her title. Once her last match happened on NXT, she dropped the title, but she never lost it. And I'm like, oh, this is the same thing that happened. So she's getting called up. So and now the problem becomes trying to keep these characters the way that they are and don't mess them up because the main roster tend to do that. And I would do some fancy bookings. I'm going to do some recording and upload those. Like this is getting recorded. I appreciate you guys for really like getting what I'm talking about or like trying to understand it. We've been trying to teach you so you guys can learn about it. And I'm going to be doing more of these. We just talk about wrestling overall, talk about sports. Like, dude, I think there's, I want to say, almost to 10 coaches of the NFL, and not and either head coaches and defensive coaches and offensive coaches that got fired. And the one that hits, everybody's kind of questioning it, but everybody knows why this had to happen, is the coach for the Ravens. He got let go. But now the team that's looking at him is the Dolphins. And I'm like, the Dolphins? And I'm like, bro, okay. But just with me just talking about wrestling, it actually makes me feel better. Cause like I said, I shied away from it for a very long time. But now that I'm doing this whole like, I don't really care about what anybody says and stuff like that, and just I'm doing what I like and what I love, and I'm like, shoot, I can tell you what else I'm doing. I'm like, this is not like I'm taking it very very serious. Like I get them every week. These I get Hot Wheels, bro. I, I'm about to get me a display. Like once I move from away from here, bro, I'm getting a wall display, and I might get like a whole wall and pin like and like covers. I might have a whole wall of just Hot Wheels, bro. Cause those are gonna cost. Those are going to be a lot of money in a couple of years. Like they already a lot of money. People will pay like thousands for some Hot Wheels. And only if I didn't toss away my other Hot Wheels that I had when I was little, bro, I would be rich right now. But I'm gonna be rebuilding that collection. I'm gonna be rebuilding my Pokemon collection, rebuild my Yu-Gi-Oh! Baseball cards. I have old baseball cards already. I'm probably gonna get those looked at pretty soon so that I can actually sell those. Those gonna cost a. That's gonna be a heavy penny. I have some good old baseball cards in my closet, and I mean old. I have cards and I have a book, bro. And then also I have, which my stepdad needs to still get them from over here. I have some old comic books, some old Marvel and stuff like that. So yeah, and so I have an announcement tweet that I have to tweet out, and I'm gonna post them in the chats. And this is also going to tie into how things about to be for like moving forward. Let me see. No, why have been streaming for an hour? Like, so my albums is going to be my streams are probably going to be like an hour. That's not even bad, bro. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some stuff. I need a bit.